Central banks are a huge focus for investors all over the world. How much will they play into the investment thesis in the coming days as opposed to other macroeconomic events?
So they'll definitely be coming in as quite significant, and certainly we've seen some quite muted movements over the last couple of days because of this kind of waiting to see what this decision will be on Thursday.
So, Louise, I mean, with that in mind, is there a central bank in particular? I mean, we know that the Fed has been driving so much of the action. Is it the European Central Bank right now that will be setting the tone, given the negative interest rate environment we've been speaking so much about over the course of the past few months?
Certainly, I think because the US market is a little bit more independent to the rest of the world, Europe very much relying on emerging market growth, and so therefore the support that we have within Europe is going to be more indicative of perhaps whether there is going to be ongoing support, and certainly we haven't seen so much strength out of Europe so far year to date.
Now, Germany is a key focus for many investors, certainly in Europe and arguably around the world. Is there a situation right now developing where you can see Germany taking any steps on its economy, on its fiscal situation that will kind of help jumpstart the overall Eurozone growth economy there?
Yes, certainly the last numbers that we had out of Germany were not as negative as people had expected. And often people are looking for that delta at the moment. There isn't so much visibility, still a lot of uncertainty out there, but they're looking at those small marginal changes. So therefore, you know, those last numbers being slightly less negative than people expected did give people some reassurance about some underlying strength. And certainly within the US market as well, we're seeing some strong numbers in terms of wage growth and also some of the consumer sentiment still holding up. So still quite mixed messages in terms of the overall growth trajectory that we're seeing.
All right, so with those mixed messages in mind, Louise, are there places that investors should be looking more towards or staying away from, given the idea that there is this kind of wait and see or this kind of middling, we don't know where we're going approach to the markets and economies around the world?
So I think one of the key things is that we've seen the defensive sectors doing very well recently, and so they have become more expensive relative to the rest of the market. Just in the last couple of days, we have seen a bit of a pullback. So we've seen actually a big reversal into some of those value names, and really because they had got so stretched versus some of those more sentiment, some more growthy names, and we have seen that pullback in the last couple of days. The big question is, will that be sustained going forward or not? And certainly for us, we continue to be quite well positioned within some of the defensive sectors, but also looking at where some of those value names have become very good from an overall attractiveness perspective.